Hello and welcome to another fun-filled edition of Adam's Music Box. Now, the other day I was talking about the US Festival, and Eddie Money was, of course, one of the acts who performed at the festival, and that made me think that I really want to do a dedicated video to Eddie Money because he really deserves to have a huge legacy. In many ways, he was the voice of FM radio in the late 70s through the mid 80s in terms of a solo artist who was just a great songwriter, great vocalist, great personality, really nice guy. He's the kind of person that came up the old-fashioned way by gigging and gigging. And eventually he got signed. And because of all of the gigging experience he did, his first album in 1977, a self-titled album, was a hit right out of the gates because he knew what he was doing. He had two major singles from the album, Two Tickets to Paradise, You Know It and I Know It, and Baby Hold On, Baby Hold On to Me, Whatever Will Be, huge song. Um, and he kept the hits coming on his second album, Life for the Taking. He had Maybe I'm a Fool, which was a big hit. Playing for Keeps from 1980. It wasn't quite as big, but then he came out with No Control in 1982, and that had one of his quintessential hits, one of my very favorites, Shakin'. And the music video, interestingly, was filmed at a small independent diner at the border of West LA and Santa Monica called Ray's, which last time I checked is still there in a place where everything's changing, not for the better. So a little bit of Eddie Money history still lives on. And the whole album was great. You also had I Think I'm in Love, which was another absolutely huge hit. We did a video on this channel about multi-instrumentalists the other day, and Eddie was certainly that. He played saxophone very, very well, and you can hear it on his albums. So, in addition to a singer and a harmonicist, he was also a saxophonist. 86 saw the release of what I think may have been one of his top selling albums, Can't Hold Back, and that featured Take Me Home Tonight, which featured the vocals of Ronnie Spector, the great vocalist from the Ronettes, who had a very harrowing story of abuse at the hands of Phil Spector, a man who, while in the production element of his life and in the songwriting element of his life, may have been a genius, but he was not a nice guy to be around. And Ronnie Spector really felt that. So her career got a bit of a revival thanks to Eddie Money. I Want to Go Back. What a great song that was on that album. We Should Be Sleeping. I Can't Hold Back, the title track. Really, really wonderful. Now, Eddie was one of these guys where the 90s wasn't going to be particularly friendly to him. He was really that king of solo act AOR, as I said. But he kept on gigging, and his fan base remained loyal right up until the very end. He was a native New Yorker, but made it big once he moved to the Bay Area, and that's where he got to be friends with Bay Area native Sammy Hagar, and they performed live a lot together in sort of jam type of scenarios. They both loved to jam together. And Sammy actually tells a story that's quite sad about he's doing one of his charity gigs, and Eddie was there, and Eddie had to go, and Sam was like, "Come on, man, come on, just sing something." And he said, "No, I really, really can't." And Sammy thought, "Well, that's a bit weird. Wonder what I did to piss him off." And it turns out that he was just really, really ill, and he died in 2019 from complications from all sorts of cancer and other heart problems, and it was a sad end, but he had a really interesting life. Died at the age of 70, which by the standards of 2019 was young, but the musical legacy lives on. And the music, because it was recorded so well, performed so well, and didn't have much gimmickry associated with it, I would say that it really stands the test of time. Eddie is still on the money. Like, subscribe. We will see you next time. Take care.